So 50 Years of Atari first came to my notice in Retro Gaming magazine. They've got a nice big spread about it, and it mentions that there is a package out on various platforms, including PS4. So I thought I'd get a copy of this and have a look at this over Christmas. I managed to get my nephews to play a couple of games. Going into the package, you've got a timeline which goes through from the 70s through to the present day, and it lists major milestones along the timeline, starting off with some reimagined games and then going through into arcade games. So a lot of the arcade games I did play. And then it starts going through the console systems, and there's some quite interesting games like Yar's Revenge, which is one of the reimagined games. I didn't have a console, Atari console, so I don't know that much about them. But the Atari computers that came later, like the 400 and 800, I really wanted those computers, but was unfortunately stuck with my ZX81 at the time. But they did look like really nice computers. An acoustic coupler there, which I had, which I never got to work. And then some more computers leading up to the Atari ST, which I bought, which was my only Atari computer. So I made some videos about that. And then into the 90s, talks more about little consoles, and then onto the Jaguar. Ending with Tempest 2000, Jeff Minter's reimagining of Tempest. And then a bit more recently, it talks about the Atari Recharge games that have been put out. It mentions Ready Player One, which has inspired the metaverse phenomena at the moment. So then, if you press the square key on the PS4, you go into the games library. There's a whole ton of games. It starts off with reimagined games. The best one I've tried so far is the Yar's Revenge reimagined, which is pretty funky. Looking at the original game, obviously the graphics are better, but the original game looks quite good too. So it's quite interesting to be able to compare the old original game with this reimagined game. And then you go into the arcade games, so you've got Asteroids, Breakout, Centipede, Crystal Castle played that, and back in the day, Gravitar played that. Lunar Lander, I remember that was one of the first games I played. And Pong, I managed to get one of my nephews to play this, and he just fell about laughing, really. And wouldn't take it seriously at all. Not quite up to his PS4 games. Space Duel was quite fun to have a play with him. Again, he was just falling about laughing. And then Tempest was one of my favourite games at the time. I struggled to play that without the spinner. And then in the console games, you've got, like, for instance, this version of Asteroids, which is very basic. I don't know if I'll play that. And then ending off with Jeff Minter's Tempest 2000. I can imagine having a go at this, but again, without the spinner, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get. So that's a quick roundup. Quite an interesting package, not too expensive. Worth a look, I think.